Hey YouTube! Yep, so you saw that if you're watching the other day, and you wondered what the thumbnail's all about, this is a Waynecaster, which the picture on Thingy was from download a few years ago when Wayne told me taking one of those wee tiny wee red guitars, one of these ones with the stupid short neck on it, and he'd put was it a Harley Benton? A Benson Les Paul neck on it. I was like, oh yeah, I mean, well, he's not going to play the tunes. Like, no, it works. Like, and then he played it at that download, and that was the download that we drank too much, so don't really remember it working properly. But this year, he had it again. Well, to be honest, I was showing my pal Ronnie pictures of download a couple of weeks ago, just before we went, and I said, oh, there's that white guitar. That thing Wayne had, it actually worked. So this is... And I've got a couple of them lying about, so I built one for him, one for me. And yeah, so not only do I have this one, which has a neck pickup, is it a good guitar? Obviously that's not using the internal speaker, that's plugged into the orange. So, internally, not going to be as loud. And this battery was actually in this guitar when I bought it at a car boot sale for $5. Yes, I was saying, if you're going to build one of these, this one has a Strat scale neck on it, so I had to move the bridge. There's where the original bridge hole is, so I had to move it. Oh. I'll just tell you exactly. 30mm. So I had to use it. Had to move it 30mm back the way to get the bridge on, and it's kind of near the edge. That's for a 25.5-inch scale for this guitar. This is the one. It's slightly. I don't know, it's hard to believe it's bigger, but it's slightly bigger than the wee red one. Yes. So what I inadvertently did with the red one, I'd forgotten because I had left this in my car. My super awesome 70s Puma tracksuit top, which kind of has got a bit of the Starsky and Hutch, bit of the spacesuit about it. Is exactly the same colour scheme as I went for with the guitar, which I wasn't thinking about. This one. My one. But see, like the white and the red. It didn't have a pickup cover. This is the original pickup in it. It didn't have a cover, and the pole pieces didn't line up. It's like flat pole pieces, and I just had that red one and put it on. I think it looks cool. This is a BC Rich neck from my pal in Kilsyth. He had butchered it. The butcher is not actually a butcher. He's a butcher of guitars. A lovely guy. But he had, this was a 24 fret neck, and he'd fitted it to a Jackson. I think he ended up giving me this Jackson that had he'd made a BC Rich Warlock with a Jackson neck, and then he'd been left over with a BC Rich neck and a Jackson body, and he'd made the two of them fit, and he'd put screws through it and split the thing. It was basically knackered. So I just cut the frets off, cut the end off, and made it into a 22 fret Gibson scale. Yes, so this might not be exactly the same length as like a Les Paul neck or something like that. Although it probably should. No, it will be. There's only 22 frets. Aye. So it's the same length as you can put a Les Paul scale neck on these, but there's not lots and lots of leeway to get it in tune, like to get it in toned. Is there a camera? Is that one there? So many cameras now. I don't know if you can see that E. Like, I had to move the bridge back. Not that much, to be fair, but just a bit. And it's right kind of just overhanging the edge of the body. And look at the E saddle. Had to take the spring out. And basically, if that hadn't gone, I would have had to cantilever the bridge over the edge of the body. But it's intoned, so all worked out well. In some ways, it's, I don't know. I'm wondering, this one's got a, this is the advanced model compared to that one. That's what I was saying there about the size. Like that one has the Fender scale neck on it, and it's, you know, okay, you could get another 5mm and cantilever it a bit, but with the Fender scale, which is 1.5 inches longer, so you'd have no chance putting a Fender scale on this one. The bridge would be here somewhere, unless you, I don't know, you get a Telecaster bridge and literally just hang it over the edge of the guitar. I don't know. But so this was the smaller one, but this has a headphone socket. I assume that's what it is next to it, and also instead of having a wee switch to turn it on, it's got the switches on the volume control. What I noticed very much with the two of these is this one has a bridge pickup, right? And it's Gibson scale, so I'm thinking it should be twangier. It's kind of more, it must have, like the actual circuit board in it, the amp has probably got, it's like, obviously it's got a set, everything apart from volume. So it's, I think it's maybe boosted and it's got filters and tone controls. But I mean, for volume wise, also I did drill holes in the backs of these, where most of the sound seems to come from. But I mean, they really do get to the point of if you're sitting in the house, I'm playing these not at full volume, like what? Which is actually dead easy to show you the difference between the two of them really quickly. So I mean, it's dead, you'd have thought that's the bridge pickup. And, you know, thinking about doing the pickup stuff. Oh, so I was going to plug this into the big amp. I was surprised at how this sounded. I was playing an expensive Gibson earlier on through the Sovtech, and then it was like, oh, this is really good. And then I was playing this, and it's like, hey, that's really good. That's interesting, there's no volume control. Oh, maybe that's a wee bit of an oversight. So there's no volume control on the guitar when you plug it into an amp. The volume control only works. I'm sure that's not how that one works. I'm sure you can turn the volume down the other one. That's the difference in having the switch built into the volume control, isn't it? Hey, volume control. Yeah, okay. Maybe a little bit of a. I wonder if do I want to mod that? Seems like you'd want to have a volume control. I bet you it's so the battery doesn't run out. But not meant to be used in such a way. Meant to be used unplugged. I was just thinking, basically, when we were at download there, the one Wayne had, which is basically this one with a Les Paul neck on it. Well, this is a Warlock, but it wasn't me that painted it. It says Nosferatu on it. It was like a blood splatter thing. Actually, I looked for a white pickup cover, couldn't find one. But camping in a tent, or, you know, it's totally loud enough for anything like that. It's not yet holding its tune, obviously. So maybe having a tuner built into it would be nice. And I'm going to have to do some experiments. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run the pickup in this one into one of those Temu rat pedals and see if I can see if that does it. So I can see if I can, you know, between it and its own built-in amplifier. Basically, I can see on the circuit board where the pickup gets soldered on, so I was just going to unsolder that and then put try different pedals in the middle, feeding back into its own amp, and I think feeding back might be the main thing I'm talking about here. It's like, I think maybe having lots of gain and stuff when that's the speaker. That thing when you've got you put the record player close to the speaker, it kind of feeds back, and the vibrations from the speakers cause the needle to wobble, that kind of thing. Because I was thinking the same there, but putting like a hot rail in, you're like, well, in fact, actually now that I've moved the bridge back, there's probably enough room for a full-size humbucker in that, with a coil split. But it'd be nice if you could get like a bit more, if you could get like distortion, because distortion would obviously go louder. That's a kind of depends, but if you sit with it the right way, the sound's very directional, but kind of like acoustic. See if you stand, I don't know if this is the same in my last house, this one, see if you stand and look at the door in the corner, we get into the triangle, and try that in your house. I think it's maybe just because it's reflective, it sounds pure amazing. Should probably have a camera over there and use it for like the acoustic, and a mic over there. So then my question would be, you can hear the volume of this. Why is only these wee shitty kids ones with the necks that are just too short? You can tune them to A, technically, but they're so difficult to work with because you have to be so accurate with the nut and the intonation and all that. This size, you can do it, but why is there not? Why isn't there like the cheapest Fender, Squier, blah blah blah, whatever it is, Sonic Telecaster? There should be one that costs 20 quid more that has this in it. Because it'd be awesome. If you're sitting there, it's loud enough to hear it. Especially, I'm talking, even with good modern technology, there must be some reason why it doesn't work. That's why I'm sitting there thinking, if I put a rat pedal, is it just going to feed back like mad off it? Are they intentionally limited? But it's just the actual to be honest, I'm going to be buying these things now. The problem is you need to have another neck to put on it, and it's got to be a Gibson neck if it's the wee red one, whereas if it's a slightly bigger one with a neck pickup. Neck pickup would make more sense to me, to be honest. Because you want as much power as you can out of it, don't you? So having it there, there's enough room for another pickup there. You put another pickup and then have the two of them as a humbucker. It's like yeah, that's a good idea. What about the idea of having like a humbucker, two coils on either side of a speaker that they're connected to? Yeah, that's not going to go mental. It could sound absolutely glorious. It could just also be one massive square wave, just air raid siren, but will not stop. This one seems more acousticy. But I think that's just because it's got like a sort of, it's a more acousticy neck type thing on it, and it's like, it lends itself to strumming quite acceptably. That's... I just feel that there seems to be a bit missing, a gap in the marketplace for something that's got, it doesn't have to be even as good as this, but I'm sure you could get one a lot better, like the actual shitty speaker and wee PCB amp thing runs off a 9-volt battery. There must be, like, instead of spending £2 on one, if you spent a £5 on it, you must be able to get one that's actually almost getting up to being able to play along with an acoustic guitar. And it's just like, that would be an awful handy thing to have. If it's only going to be an extra 20 quid or 30 quid on the guitar, why you should be buying, it should just be a thing. Got that, and it's like, yeah, it's a real guitar. It's not. This is not a small guitar anymore. It's full size, so it's just the same as any other guitar. Yeah, this one, the 6-side headstock makes more sense on it, I think, because if you look at it, this one is that much shorter. So depending on how tight you are for space on your luggage compartment, I think what I would do with these is I would probably take out the strap pins and just screw the strap on. That means you could just kind of have it just hanging on your back, and then just at any time you can just bang, bang. It's a song. If you want people to hear it, you can play it backwards. Do you know, this would run along perfectly with someone with a nylon stringer. It just comes down to a lot of these things. It's the same a little bit with amps and guitars and stuff as well. It's like, if everybody's got taste, and is it, you're having a jam, there's a couple of acoustics and a bass or whatever, and one of you's got a quieter guitar, like one of you's is playing a nylon stringer, be aware that the nylon stringer can only go so loud in their preferred range. If they're absolutely bad, there's a volume for them. So if you're playing normal acoustic, play it a little bit lighter, and if you're playing the bass, turn it down a wee bit. That kind of thing. It's one of those. It's like pure, this is great for having a jam. Then you get some non-feeling punk comes in with his, I've got my wee 10-watt amp, and they just bah, bah, and you can't hear this if somebody's playing something different on a 10-watt amp. It's like, but for evening sessions. I might have a wee look about it. I can probably look about and see if there's any of these kicking about. What did I do with the necks? I've got two. Actually, the last one of these I had, that bastard Scott stole it. I was going to make the Mandalorians, which I was going to paint. I had two of them. This is one of them. I was going to paint them like Boba Fett and Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, and they were waynecasters because they were Mandalorians, but also I took off two tuners, so they only had 4 strings, and then modified the bridge so it was like a 4-string tuned like an octave mandolin. Is that what it is? So it was like a bona fide tuning. I can't remember what the tuning was, but it was like mandolin tuning with 4 strings. Where a mandolin's got 8 strings, but it's like a 12-string. It's like the thin strings are 12 string. It's just two. It's got 8 strings, like 2 E's, 2 E's, 2 A's, 2 D's next to each other, sort of thing. It's like dual courses to give a sort of chorus effect. So I made Mando things. But I don't know. I'd never got anywhere with that. But they could handle whoever that was tuned to could handle the short scale. Guitar strings can't. You can't. You're never going to learn to play the guitar on the mini version of one of these. It's just they don't work. They don't sound good. This one you totally could. I'm sitting here wondering why doesn't it? You could maybe get a. I'm sure. I think they were £30 though, weren't they? I'm just wondering, like a headless bridge thing. I mean, why do you need a headstock on the guitar? You could just make it that much smaller. And size doesn't really matter. It does. It's a wee bit neck heavy, but I mean, there's so little of it. Yeah. Anyway, so cheers, Wayne, for the idea. I'm just calling them waynecasters because I was sceptical about it. It was really. Even when I was going to make them before I went down to download this year, and I went down, it was just like there wasn't any point. It was like that's totally loud enough, and especially when you're sitting. Obviously, you're sitting in a tent, so you're only 2 feet away. You never need more than this. I wish there was a bass version now. I wish there was some way of putting a speaker into Judge Death. That would be awesome. No, this is just a tempting thing to have, just sitting in the car. Just all the time. It's like, I've got a guitar, the right time, you've just got, here we go. And it looks like a toy. It doesn't necessarily sound like one. You can still play good stuff on it. I've not even set it up either. doing? What's wrong with that? Rock and roll! Today is Saturday. Live stream tomorrow night. I'll maybe be playing some waynecasters. Need to get Ronnie over. I need to get him in a video so we can both play them together.